This is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are all doing great on this Thursday evening. Yeah, so I haven't checked in probably almost a week or just over a week, maybe. Not sure. Um, yeah, so just wanted to see what is going on with you guys, how you guys been doing, all that good stuff. Yeah, so this is going to be a collective message, as you guys saw in the title. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you like what you see here and decide to hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, hit that like button, all that good stuff. And if you've been rocking with your girl for a while, welcome back. And thank you for the continued support. There goes my sister right there, Tears and Wheat Tarot Show. Check her out. One of the best individuals, not just readers, but just one of the best people around in general. Love her. This chair is very squeaky. Maybe I'm just getting that big. I need to unbig this back a little bit. But I'm grateful for you guys for tapping in. This is going to be a collective message tonight. Just kind of seeing what is going on with y'all. Hey Margaret, hey Mirjana. Hey, I love to see names and or faces that I recognize coming back. It lets me know I'm doing something right. So yes, thank you for being here, guys. So tonight we're going to kind of just do a before I even say anything else about where we're going with the reading, guys, check out my girl Lati from Tears and Wheat Tarot Show. Please subscribe, because I'm telling y'all, the reading that I was about to start prepping to go on, this was at like 5 something, and then next thing you know, I saw the notification pop up on the phone. I was like, oh, I can't miss this. So I was like, okay, I gotta watch my girl. And guys, when I tell you that reading was so dead on and just so like powerful, man, listen, go check her out. Just saying. So without further ado, this here is really squeaky. What's going on here, guys? It makes so much noise. So much more noise than normal. It's very annoying. um, yeah. Like I said, I might need to unbig my back a little bit, you know. I love you too. So this reading tonight is going to be kind of like almost like a what's the tea kind of thing, what's brewing. Seeing what's going on with you guys, when it comes to stuff going on behind the scenes that you might not know. We're gonna look into like characteristics of like people in your energy and things like that, of things that you might not be aware of at this time. So let's shuffle some cards and just, I'm trying to think. Do I want to start with these or do I want to start with one? I'm gonna start with these. We're gonna get like a overall energy started with the Zodiac 108 deck, which I really like, and just pull a few from here, and then we're gonna tap in a little bit deeper. Spirit, only let positive energy into this reading. Show the collective what they need to see at this time for their highest good. Clearest and most accurate messages, please, and thank you. Okay, so we're just gonna get a few from here just to kind of get the ball rolling of what's going on. Bottom of the deck, we have spring, new moon, the maiden within 1 to 3 months. So we are technically in spring right now. So that, Lati and I have been talking a lot about this energy of kind of planting seeds and sowing those seeds and watching them grow. So a lot of you guys might be kind of experiencing that right now. This is energy of watching the fruit of your labor finally coming together after maybe a period of stagnation. Lati is asking, what did my mug say? It says, anybody can be cool, but awesome takes practice, by Lorraine Peterson. Yeah, so let's see. That's on the bottom of the deck. So let's dive in a little bit more. See what else is going on with y'all. There's the most accurate messages, Spirit. Hey, babe. Hey, sis. Another one of my sisters up in here. Okay. We got 2 cards that came out. One fell on the floor. What does this say? This one says, This is almost like Six of Wands energy in a way. It says castle, pride, recognition, position, praise for achievements, ego, wealth, ancestry, antiquity, history, legacy, architecture, power, prestige, isolation, the old guard, and timeless. So nice. You know, you guys are being recognized for your hard work for something. And then this one fell out. One came up face up, and the other one went out face down. They were like separate. So there might be something going on behind the scenes that you don't see. Hence the whole purpose of this reading, anyway. It says optical illusion. I mean, I'm sure you can figure out what that means, right? Um, Things not appearing to be what they are really. So this could be piggybacking off of the reading that Lati just did, where she was talking about, you know, a lot of people are, again, in the midst of, you know, having achievements coming through, really working hard at something, seeing that fruit of their labor coming together, and people not really, you know, necessarily being as thrilled about those successes and things like that as you would hope. And we're talking about people close to you, possibly. That's why we're going to look deeper into it. So it's funny how we do readings, and if we do them like back to back or at the same time, the readings you typically literally like piggyback off of each other. It's so crazy. We have no. The answer is no. The situation or event is not unfolding at this time. So whatever that event is, don't know. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Then we have happening soon. It's almost like I see like there's like a juxtaposition of energies here. So it's like opposing energies. Like as you're working towards what it is that you're trying to work towards, there are people that don't want to see you win, don't want to see that sense of victory happening. So you just have to kind of be mindful of the people that are within your social circle and around you, family, you know, things like that. We have yacht on the bottom, I mean, on the top of the deck. Adventure, affluence, luxury, mobility, travel, great ease, smooth sailing, sophisticated, with the wind, self-indulgent, prosperity, comfort, wealth, over the top, and extravagant. So it's like as you're working on, you know, everything that you're doing and things are coming through, there's people that are like watching and wishing that their grass was just as green as yours. And it's not happening for them in the same way that's happening for you. Excuse me. Throat chakra. Wouldn't be shocked if we hear some sirens too. What we got? As I say, throat chakra. Does it not get more clear? You guys heard me say throat chakra. You saw me shuffle these cards. You saw a card fall. And this is the card that I just picked up. What does that say right there? It says telephone first off, but then what does it say right there? Throat chakra. You can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. Lati also talked about throat chakra too. So we have connection, communication, conversation, getting through, two-way street, message, vocal, loud and clear, reaching out, notification, throat chakra, inner voice, and rings a bell. As I'm clearing my throat, because like all of a sudden it feels like, you know, scratchy out of nowhere. Some of you might be dealing with really bad allergies too. Let me know if that resonates. I mean, a lot of people are probably going through that right now, but like some of you might deal with more like the itchy throat and drip, post-nasal drip versus like, you know, the runny watery eyes, you know, which can be very annoying. Trust me, I get it. But yeah, something about communication. Maybe you're gonna have to stand your ground when it comes to speaking your truth to somebody, and saying what needs to be said. So what's more? Let's get maybe 2 or 3 more from here. Got 1. What do we got? Eyeglasses. Assessment. Evaluate options. Sorry, like hearing something at the same time. All right, let me read the card and then I'll try to pick up on what I was kind of hearing. Okay, start over. Sorry. Assessment, evaluate options, perspective, review, analyze, opinion, judgment, examine, seeing clearly. The fine print, estimate, closer look, focus, awareness, check the details. So definitely looking deeper into hidden meanings. I just kind of was picking up, and this is what made me stop in my tracks. You know how like people give like backhanded compliments? That's what I was picking up on. Like that's what I was like kind of hearing, and that's why I had to stop and like regain my focus because I was hearing that, and I'm like, okay, let me read this card first. But you know how like you get people who claim that they're like your friend or something like that, or you're close to them, and you tell them something or whatever, like whatever you're dealing with or whatever like that, and either they have like backhanded compliments, or they do stuff like they try to one up you when it comes to yeah, low key shade, exactly. And it's like you're trying to like you're talking to them about something that you got going on, and they try to one up you, like, oh yeah, well I got it worse, that kind of thing. Or throwing shade, like, oh, like let's say you're going through something, they say something like, couldn't be me, like wow, that's really supportive. Like, what kind of friend are you? Or what kind of family member are you? Like, I'm getting something like that. And now, like, you're kind of taking, like, the rose colored lenses off, and you're seeing things for what it really is. Because, again, for a long time, there were a lot of illusions here, right? That were keeping you from really seeing people for who they are, or certain people for who they are. And now you're kind of seeing the truth. Now, it's ironic as hell because I was stuck on whether I wanted to start with like this deck, kind of getting the generalized energy first, or did I want to go straight into like the what lies beneath slash what's the tea type of energy, throat chakra again. Um, and I got drawn to this deck, but look at the energy. It still resonates with this idea that I was picking up on people in your energy that you gotta kind of check their ass. And I had a feeling that it was going to piggyback off of what Lati was talking about in her reading. So like I said, check her out. Check her out. Just generally speaking, like she's on point with everything. Amazing reader. And my girl up here too, because she changed her name, so I gotta make sure I get it right. The Phoenix Priestess, also another one of my soulies, sister type of people, part of my tribe. Another amazing reader, so check her out too. And she's open for personals, so I always make sure I let people know who the real deal holy fields are in my field, in my crew. Okay, so definitely check them out. We have Slingshot, tension, strain, sudden anxiety. Lati was talking about anxiety. I just heard that song that gives me anxiety, and I can't really listen to it. I don't know the girl's name, but the one that everybody knows the song though. It's everywhere. But you guys know the song. Everybody knows it. The one that's over the Gautier beat. But yeah, tension, strain, sudden anxiety, pressure. Hi, Ren. This girl, she's all over the damn place today. Launch, stress, pull, set in motion, focus, begin, force, change, pulled in opposite directions, ready, aim, fire. Remember I was saying there's a juxtaposition of energy here. That makes a lot of sense, right? The fact that if you have opposing energies, there's going to be a lot of tension, right? It's not going to be rainbows and butterflies, that's for fucking sure. So it's like, you could cut the tension with a knife, is what I just heard. It's getting to be intense between, maybe you and another person or some people. This could happen within the next few weeks. Within a few weeks, the situation or event in question will develop or unfold within a matter of weeks, is what just came out. I just saw 1414 when I looked up. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Bottom of the deck, we have microphone. See, another thing about expression. Some of you guys might be in the public eye in some kind of way. We have news, trending, broadcast, expression, strong opinion. That one's ringing out to me. Somebody might have very strong opinions and are going to have to, kind of speak their truth. Make known, current events, public speaking, speak truth. As I say, speak truth because I didn't even see that there at first. Communicate, social media, being heard, and speaking up. That's on the bottom of the deck there. There's going to be a very, very important conversation to be had, I feel like. Inventor, innovation, imagination, creative, gadgets, technology, groundbreaking developments, okay to fail, do it again and again. inspired ideas, setting trends, mastermind, modern era. So one of the things that I'm also picking up on too is it could be one of those kind of things like as you're working on these successes, right? Maybe you have like these ideas that you're bringing into fruition, and again, maybe somebody just doesn't want to see you win. They're like, nah, how can I like, take the wind out of their sails a little bit and make them feel less than. How can I make them feel like myself? Misery loves company, right? So you're like, I'm not fucking miserable. I'm not done with that shit. So we have middle of the deck, we have ballet shoes, stamina, endurance, talent, repetition, effort required, on your toes, honing skill, laser focus, poise, grace, tread lightly, balancing act, pursuit of arts and expertise. So there's something that you're really good at that you're about to start, kind of really digging into. And there could be people who don't want to, again, who maybe they've been trying to do the same thing for a very long time and they can't seem to, break the mold. Like they're just kind of stuck and stagnant, whereas you're making progress in that same area and they don't like it. I'm getting something like that, and that's very sad because it sounds like I'm talking to my students. That's very sad that friends are not making a good choice. That's how I talk at work all the time. I hope my friend could make a better choice next time. But yeah, my teacher place. um, so I don't know, guys, but that's what we got so far, and that's just a few cards in, and now we're about to get into the real nitty gritty with the what lies beneath. It's kind of like a what's the tea type of deck. Really giving insight about the energy around you, things that you don't know, or need a little bit of confirmation about. So I'm going to shuffle this deck real quick, and then we'll pull a few from here. Then we'll pull some tarot as well. For those of you who are new to the channel, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button and that subscribe button and that notification bell so that we can be in touch and you know when I'm on and all that good stuff. And if you haven't done so already and you're resonating with this reading, just hit that like button. Share if you feel comfortable with doing that. It would be awesome. And it would be a great way to help the channel and support the channel. What we got? Bad choices. How funny is that? I said, I hope my friend can make a good choice. So somebody could be making some really, really bad choices. And it's like, those bad choices are, causing them to feel a sense of stagnation and they're not moving forward in their life. And then they see you doing better and they're trying to figure out how the fuck are they doing it. Hi Michael, how are you? And it's just kind of crazy because it's like, here you are again doing what you're doing, whatever that is. I really feel like whoever it is, y'all might be in the same type of field in some kind of way. Like, I don't know if it's somebody at work or something like that, or you have a business or something, or a business idea. This person might have a similar idea, or you guys do something very similar. And like I said, you're getting traction and they're kind of stuck. I'm getting something like that for some reason. So if it's like at work or something like that, you got a promotion or, things of that nature, that could be why the energy is so like tense. Michael, I'm actually just doing a collective message at this time. I haven't resumed with doing personals on the channel yet. That should be happening soon, but it's not today, unfortunately. Sorry. If you want to stick around, that would be great. If not, I understand, but I would appreciate if you hit that subscribe button nonetheless. If you do end up resonating with the message tonight, or you can just check out what is on the channel if you want. We have knowing they fucked up. Knowing they fucked up. So they did some bullshit. Whoever this person is. Maybe they did like something real low. Just like down low. Like try to like sabotage you or something like that. And it didn't work. All right, so what we got? We got 3 cards that came out. Oh, keep in mind, guys, this is a collective message. So being that this is a collective message, take the messages as they resonate and leave what doesn't. There's going to be different energies coming through, different sorry, hearing something before I even say what I have to say. just like that, I lost it. Dang it, I hate when that happens. Hopefully it comes back. But yeah, so what was I saying? Damn it. That whatever that message was, like it's like right there, and I can't get it. It's frustrating. I hate when that happens. All right, I'm just gonna read these cards. Maybe it'll come back to me. All right, we have divorce here, breaking contract, along with outdated, expired, disused, old news, and discarded, and sex shop. Interesting. For some of you, now this seems like it's very specific. This is not gonna be for everybody. There could be somebody that you had relations with, or a very, very higher level of commitment, whether it was actual marriage or just, higher level of commitment to, and it's done, it's over. There could have been a sex addiction or something like that involved. That seems very specific. That's not going to be for everybody. That's what I was kind of feeling, and I heard it, but like there's going to be some very, very different messages starting to come up now that we're diving into other decks. So like we got kind of like an overall energy, but there's gonna be like messages that are gonna be coming out where it's like I'm gonna let you know, oh, this seems very specific. This is like not gonna be for everybody. So please take the messages as they resonate and keep the ones that do. Hopefully you guys resonate with at least something in this reading. Let's keep going. But like I said, that message seemed very, very specific right there. The sex addiction thing. All right. Keeping you a secret. Interesting. See, now this is getting to the nitty gritty of something like a little bit more, like a little spicy. But nonetheless, still that energy of a lot of tension, right? Someone definitely wants to say something to you. Could be some like an ex or something that's gonna try to make a return. Somebody who might even like cheated on you or something like that, or had you as a third party. I'm getting that too for somebody. Take it as it resonates and leave it if it doesn't. Yeah. I got like a really gross feeling about whoever this person is. I do not like this energy at all. Depression. They're going through it, whoever this person is. They're going through it right now. Not in a good place. Not in a good place at all. Which is going to make them, want to reach out even more. I have a feeling this person's probably watching. I will not be shocked if that card comes up. Tell us more. Doing drugs. So we have making bad choices, and then we got doing drugs. So there, there could be some substance abuse involved, whether in the form of actual drugs or alcohol, and then sex addiction. There's just like a lot going on here. Fulfilling a fantasy. I heard ecstasy. Somebody might have really been into ecstasy, because there's pills in this picture, and then like the sex shop, and then fulfilling the fantasy. Somebody might, and then keeping you a secret, all this stuff. Like I'm getting sex workers. I'm getting doing like ecstasy pills. Interesting. Tell us more. See how these readings are interesting? They could take a turn, right? Like we were talking about something very different, but now with a new deck, we're getting extra energy, and I'm like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this. Already knowing the tea, so you guys might already be very privy to what's going on as we're doing a what's the tea reading. How fun is that? I'll sip to that. So that's wild. The fact that you guys are pretty knowledgeable probably about all this. See, setting the record straight. We saw a card that kind of talked about that, right? That throat chakra energy, having to say something. Let's say this person does try to come back around, spinning the block type energy. Yep, I'm left side of the nose is itching. So it's definitely a past person. Past person tries to come back around, trying to, say whatever they need to say to you, and you're going to be the one to have to set the record straight. That's why the throat chakra kept on, acting up. They're like, you're going to have to say what you need to say if you decide to talk to this person, and just put their ass in their place. Look, bugaboo. Remember I said they kind of like, I'm getting like, they might be watching and stuff, this stalker vibe, if you know the lyrics to that song. That person was before the term stalker really was a thing. That person is a stalker. They're watching, but you kicked their ass to the curb. You were like, fuck this, ain't nobody got time for that. um they could have a fetish with swallowing something else. Oh. Interesting. Wow. Take maybe 2 or 3 more from here. Envy, girl, Lati. How many times did you get that envy card? The envy cards that showed up in your reading earlier, like 2 or 3 cards. I think it was 3 cards that showed up that said envy. I'm telling y'all might want to go watch her reading. Just saying. Bottom of the deck, sexual protection. Yeah, somebody might have caught something. Look, remember I was saying sex worker? Look at that outfit. Is that not a sex worker outfit right there? She's outside, walking the streets, wearing nothing but fishnets and heels and very, very short skirt or something. Lady of the night. Crazy. That's why I keep picking up on sex addiction, possibly. Something ain't right, though. Check yourself, see? You got sexual protection, and then you have check yourself. Now, I will say this. This seems a little specific, but let's say if this is somewhat recent for you and you haven't done so already, go get tested, because clearly this person that's showing up, this past person, yeah, you might want to just make sure you're good. If you are good, they're just saying they might not be, and you might want to make sure that you are, very aware that this is not the energy that you want around you right now, right? Fighting for what you love, claiming what's yours, love is a battlefield. They might be willing to literally fight for you, but you're gonna have to fight for your goddamn self, because it's like, this is not a fight worth fighting, right? Like, who the hell wants to be done with somebody who might have some type of STD or some shit like that? No, thank you. And keep in mind, like, okay, we're talking like, it's like, this seems like it's like STD related, but at the same time, it could be spiritual demons and shit too. Remember that exchange of energy that you have with a person in a sexual manner, that shit passes on to you too. Every partner that person had, you fucking them too. So if you haven't done like a spiritual cleanse and stuff, all that energy, think about that. Shit's gross when you really think about it, right? Every partner, all that energy coming back to you, like, someone admitting themselves into you or whatever, and all of that. Like, this shit's wild. That's just wild. But yeah. See, look, it came out again. That was officially on the spread. Sexual protection. Okay. Let's get like 2 more from here, and then we're gonna get the tarot portion. Yeah. Got tired of the drama. So wow, she looked like she going through her damn stuff. Like, this is probably what kind of you've been feeling like, or did feel like, I should say, when before you removed yourself from the situation. Like, her hair's all tattered, just tired. Tired. All my life I had to fight. Like, that type of energy. And it's like, that shit's crazy. That shit's crazy. So yeah, I'm definitely getting like this energy of just over it, moved on, doing your own thing, and it's all kind of connected, right? So that envy that we're picking up on and all of that, um, yeah, like just crazy and wild as fuck. Yeah, see, this person is willing to fight for you, and it's like literally fight. Like I don't know if any of you resonate, but like I just like saw like a lot of chaos like in my third eye, I guess. Like cops called, sirens, literally like fights, like whether it was you and them or them fighting people over you, like super jealous energy, like you're out somewhere and then they fight a person, like, oh, why are you looking at my girl, or why are you looking at my man, blah, blah, and then fighting, like literally, like just crazy. I'm seeing stuff like that, and it's like, bro, nobody needs that. You know what I mean? Nobody needs that. Because like we're not talking about like in the sense of like they're protecting you. We're talking about in the sense of like they look at you as a piece of property, like you belong to them. That's very different. Those are two totally different things, right? That's what I'm picking up on. Let's get one more from here. Thank you. Tantric sex. See, a lot of stuff about the sexualized energy. Now, I will say that sex was probably fire. But like, have you ever had tantric sex or know what it is? Because it's like, I'll give a quick little synopsis of what it is. Tantric sex is more spiritual than it is physical, and you connect with that person on a more spiritual level than anything. Like the end game is not about an orgasm, it's about like, I mean, it is about orgasm, but it's like a prolonged orgasm, if that makes any sense. Like, have you ever heard of people who can have an orgasm for like straight through for like an hour, like that type of thing? Like not just one and done, like, but like either a series of them or a very long stretched out one. That's like tantric sex. It's very interesting. Look it up. It's yeah, I read about it. But yeah, we have Bugaboo here again. But I'm also, okay, I'm getting another separate message though. This seems very specific for somebody. I'm getting, there might be like sex magic involved. That seems very specific. Or like they might, let's say if you have a soul tie to this person. Let's say if you have a soul tie. When they say self-pleasure and things like that, they think about you, and you might be able to feel it too. And then you're like, why the fuck am I thinking about this person? I want nothing to do with them, but you can feel it. And it's because this person, remember I was saying, I feel like I'm getting like they're watching you. We have Bugaboo on the bottom of the deck again. They might be like literally like, it's giving, okay, it's giving like they watch and they stalk and lurk and stuff like that. But again, like it's one of those things where if that tie is that strong still, then it needs to be severed, and it hasn't been done so already. Remember I was talking about clearing energetic ties. um they still have that tug and pull on you. It's very, very uncomfortable because I've been there. I just heard incubus and succubus energy, expecting new beginning. So this is your energy. Probably you guys are like in the middle of like being in this new energy in your life, and this person, because these cards kind of, they came out together when I was just trying to look at the top one, what's underneath that new beginning one. Hater. So somebody is hating on what you have going on as they're watching. They probably could feel your energy shifting. They could feel your distance. Caught. It says finding evidence, getting caught, and cheating. Very interesting. I know I said that was the last card, but I'm gonna get one more from here because I really like this deck. Wow. Let me know if this is resonating, guys, because this shit is crazy. Wow. And game over. Game over, bitches. Toxic. Yeah, that toxicity. You're not doing that shit anymore. You're good. You're like, nope. And then like even when I'm looking at this, like, because when I cleansed before I started this, now the right side of the nose is itching. Go figure, right? When I cleansed, at first I couldn't light my sage. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try the Palo Santo instead. And I couldn't really like that either. And then all of a sudden my lighter just stopped working. I was like, okay, great. So I had to use my alternative, which is my Palo Santo and white sage spray. I sprayed that throughout and cleansed my space and myself. But when you see that smoke there, right? Like it's that clearing of the energy, right? So some of you might need to do like a spiritual cleanse. 35 as I said that. So really protecting your energy right now. Private relationship. I'm also getting I think this is for the energy coming in. I think they're saying try to keep your relationship private so that it could be so that it can be protected, so that people don't try to come in with their toxic ass energy and try to ruin it. Not like, because a secret and private are two different things, right? Like we're not talking about like keeping it like to the point where people like don't know anything, like it doesn't exist type shit. Like I'm talking more like, just be like, it's fine for people to know, but just make sure you protect that shit with, I want to say with your life. That's a little much, but just protect it. The sanctity of the privacy of your. I heard marriage. Some of you might be thinking about getting married, or are married. But yeah, just keeping that private so that way it could be protected. And then we got burning evidence here. Mm. Some of you, and this is another one of those like kind of side note messages I'm getting. Some of you might benefit from doing a cord cutting. I definitely picked up on that already, but there's so many different ways you can do it. One of the ways you can do it is literally doing like the whole, black and white candle, the white one's for protection and grounding and all that. The black one is the one that you're banishing, blah, blah, blah. And then you tie the rope around it, blah, 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 so on and so forth. You can look it up online. Some people, what they do is they also like write on a piece of paper what it is that they're trying to remove, what energy they're removing. Make sure that if you ever do a cord cutting that you really are intentional about it, and set them high, because you don't want to be in a low vibrational ass space, and you don't want to be in a situation where you don't really mean what you're saying, because then it could go badly. Been there, done that. So just make sure that you're serious about it and that you're in the right headspace when you do it. But the picture is giving me like, maybe even using different elements to be able to work on that cord cutting. One of those elements could be fire. I also heard earth, wind, and fire. Some of you might be earth, wind, and fire fans. Just saying. All right, so now we're gonna pull from the tarot and see what's going on there. And I'm just gonna do kind of like a whatever comes out for this part based off the energy that we're seeing, and we're gonna just kind of keep diving in. And like I said, being that it is a collective, I just saw the Tower card while I was shuffling. Being that this is a collective message, not every message is going to resonate. So take the ones that do and leave the ones that don't. All right, a couple more shuffles. I hope that you guys are resonating though. All right, what we got? Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands on the bottom. So the Queen of Wands is like fire energy. So some of you could have fire in your chart, or somebody in this situation that's happening here could have fire in their chart. Somebody could also be a cat owner. I am. She's been acting crazy all day. I'm just getting a couple of messages from this card. I don't usually stare at this card like this. Some of you might have skin conditions. No, that seems very specific. Or the person that's in your energy could have a skin condition. Interesting. Everything is fine on the top of the deck, which is like the equivalent of like the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Eight of Cups in the middle of the deck in the reverse. So there might have been a point in time. Okay, I'm getting the message now. I think there was a point in time for a lot of you guys where you had a hard time walking away from something or someone that really had a hold on you, and you really had to get your sense of confidence up to be able to say, okay, enough's enough, I gotta do what I gotta do. Yeah, look, because underneath that we have the Ace of Wands. It's all about confidence, and it's also about creativity, um, passionate new beginnings. So being able to have that sense of confidence to be able to move on and, you know, go, you know, in new directions, on new adventures, so to speak, so that you can, you know, leave behind the bullshit, whatever that is, because we do see more than one narrative going on here. All right, tell us more. Tell us more. You know, we're talking about, like, you know, some of you might have creative ideas and stuff like that too, business owners, things like that. There's gonna be more than one narrative going on, so we're gonna just kind of, you know, see how the cards kind of come out and go from there. We have Queen of Cups here. Some of you might have water in your chart, or somebody in your energy might have water in their chart. Whoa, a lot of different energies showing up. Now we got the Queen of Swords. And all these energies are very different. Very different. Page of Pentacles on the top. That's usually about good news regarding money matters. But the fact that all these queens are showing up, interesting. Three of Pentacles in the middle of the deck. Now remember, we were talking about, and it's in the reverse, there could have been a partnership of some sort that could have went awry for somebody. That seems very specific. That's not going to be for everybody. I remember that Lati was talking about this energy of three a lot throughout her reading. So there could have been a partnership involving, you know, up to three people that just, you know, too many moving parts, too many different energies clashing, and it just, yeah, didn't work out. And it could have been amongst, like, you know, people who were really close at one point, and then it just went sour. Let me know if that resonates for anybody. Very interesting. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, what we got? It was the Two of Wands. It came out in the reverse though. When it hit the floor, it was in the upright. That's why I felt like that. Now it's in the Two of Wands. I mean, in the Two of Wands. It's in the reverse. Sorry. Very interesting. So that's about needing to make choices and feeling stuck when it comes to making such choices. Now, we did see energy of stagnation at one point in this reading. We saw this energy of, you know, kind of having a hard time making decisions. But we have the Magician on the bottom of the deck. So it's like, you know, there's things that you're trying to manifest, and it's like, you know, this is a time to plan and see things through. I heard the word seek. I was trying to say see things through, but I ended up saying seek because that's what I heard. It's giving me like seeking out new opportunities, planning things through, right? Yeah. Again, we talked about seeing like the fruit of your labor coming together with the Seven of Pentacles. That's some confirmation. It's almost like giving me like, you can't really see that happen until you make that finalized decision to say, okay, I gotta let these things go. See, look, again, Eight of Cups in the middle of the deck in the reverse. So it's like this energy of not wanting to move on, right? Feeling afraid, or, you know, having a hard time letting go of something. Maybe this Queen of Cups is showing up because, especially with it being the first card actually on the spread, maybe that's you. Emotions really, really heavy right now and involved, which makes it harder for you to make a concrete decision about what it is that you should do. Let me know if that makes sense or resonates. Tell us more. Because once those emotions get involved, it makes it that much harder. It really does. It really does. When you care about people and you love people, it's like, you know, the Queen of Cups is very empathetic. She's just, you know, she overextends. She pours out her heart to people all the time and hopes to see the good in people. And then when they fuck her over, she's like, oh, what the fuck? And that shit hurts. We have the Empress. This is where you guys are headed, right? This is where you're trying to go. You're trying to be in this Empress energy of somebody who's growing, expanding. On the higher echelon. Look, now we got the Queen of Wands here again. So it's like, I almost feel like they're almost also saying like that's the energy they want you in, like being more confident. We have Six of Pentacles. It's giving me like just being mindful about the energy that you expend, and also like who you give that energy to, because not everybody has the best intentions, right? So it's like the more cautious you are about how you know, extend yourself to other people, right? Some of you guys might be feeling very alone and isolated at this time with the Hermit here, taking a kind of a step back to kind of figure out what's what, who's who, which I definitely understand. Yeah, because you're trying to release some of these burdens. Ten of Wands in the reverse, Eight of Wands. Yeah, and this is after, like I said, the ending of some type of partnership or something. I heard mastermind. I don't know if you were kind of the one, like, let's say for those of you who are resonating with the premise of it being like a partnership amongst you and some friends or something like that. Um, I feel like you might have been the one who had like the most creative ideas, or like the ones that were the most like fruitful, so to speak. So there was maybe an energy of just like hate, right? Haters, people trying to take credit for your work. I'm getting something like that. Um, or trying to knock your ideas when you would come up with ideas, that type of thing. And then when the ideas would work, then they would be like, oh yeah, I knew that idea was good. I don't know why I heard that, but like, oh, I knew it was gonna work. I knew it was gonna be good. But and you're like, wait, you were one of the people who said like that the idea was dumb, or like it wasn't gonna work out. Like that's what I just picked up on. That's very interesting. That seems very specific. Hi, beautiful goddess. How are you? Nice to see you here. I'm well. I hope you're well as well. Excuse me. Tell us more. Two cards. What we got? Okay, we got the Four of Cups here. I'm happy to hear that you're great. That makes me very, very happy. So we have Four of Cups here, and then it came out along with the King of Cups in the reverse. Interesting, because we also have the Queen of Cups here. I remember I was saying this is going to be kind of like a whatever comes out type of thing. So, and we know that we have more than one storyline going on. So I think this is kind of going towards the like the more like the romantic relationship that of that partner who might or ex-partner that might try to come back around. I'm getting somebody who is emotionally unstable, and this person hates rejection. They might be trying to come back, and you're gonna have to reject them. I'm getting somebody who likes to tug on heartstrings and all of that, but they, you know, but when it comes to actually showing emotion, they don't know how. And there was definitely, I heard lovers quarrel. That's what I just heard. There was disharmony in the connection at some point. The lovers in the reverse. I'm getting possible like false twin vibes for somebody. Yeah, this person is gonna try to come back around. Got the Fool here on the top. So yeah, but you released this shit already. Ten of Wands, like you're like in the reverse, like you released that already. And the thing is, like I said, this person, if they're gonna try to, and even like the way that it is on the spread, it's gonna probably look a little bit different in terms of orientation for you guys. So we got the Queen of Cups, right? Looking at her own cup, she's doing her own thing, and then we got the King of Cups, and they're just like technically it was look more like this on the spread, so I could orient it for you guys so you can actually see what it looks like. She's facing a whole different direction. Her back was facing him on the spread. So like, you know, she's doing her own thing. She's starting to work on filling her own cup. This motherfucker right here, his cup is always empty because he's always emptying his cup into something else, if you know what I mean. And it's like, I was picking up on cheater vibes, and it showed up in the reading. And those other cards, like this person just sowing his wild seeds all over the fucking place. I'm getting somebody like that. And it's like, here you are, you know, trying to just, you know, level up, do your own thing, you know. I'm also getting be careful because the Empress is here. And then the Queen of Cups, she technically is like a mother figure too. Anything with water could also represent pregnancy. So just saying. If you're high emotions, pregnancy, stuff like that. So just be careful if you're not trying to you know, get knocked up, because this person, they might try to come around and, try to do that, try to fuck up everything. um yeah, the thing is, like, they're going through this kind of shit right here, the Five of Cups, and we did see that energy show up, that this person is going through it big time, and they might try to come back around and, ruin what you've got going on. Keyword try. It's good. A few more from here, and then I'm not sure what I'm gonna pull from after this. I do feel drawn to pull some more though. Just don't know yet which ones. The Hierophant. Alright, so it's giving me like higher level of commitment, marriage, morals and value systems and things of that nature. It's giving me, especially with this Five of Wands here in the bottom of the deck, which is about chaos and conflict. I feel like one of the biggest issues that you might have had with this person who keeps showing up in the reading now, a difference in value systems. This person might be very untraditional. Like, even though it's in the upright, the fact that this Five of Wands is on the bottom, it's like, it's giving me like, a differing value system. But they are going to try to come in with some type of offer. Page of Pentacles here. I'm getting a separate message. This seems very specific. If any of you guys are like teachers, counselors, coaches, anything like that, and you've been like looking into a new position or something like that, it might be a highly competitive role that you're applying for. Like, highly competitive. Don't be shocked if people like who you thought were cool with you try to do some underhanded things, because you're trying to like look into a new position, trying to get a raise or something, or a promotion, and getting something like that. That's very specific. That's not going to be for everybody. But the particular roles that I was picking up on: teachers, coaches, counselors, therapists, people of that nature. Yeah, and this is happening behind the scenes, hence the whole purpose of this reading, right? The moon, right? This is stuff that's happening behind the scenes. People are wearing masks. They're not who you think they are. So just be very mindful about, like, for instance, even like telling people like who you think that you're cool with. If you're trying to go up for a promotion, like promotion opens up at work and it's an internal apply only type of situation, and you're like, ooh, I think I could go up for that. Be careful of even saying that to certain people, because not everybody wants the best for you. They might try to, underhand you some type of way and say something bad behind your back, or go after the same exact position that they normally wouldn't even care about, but because you're going for it, they want to try to do the same thing. I'm getting something like that. Like I said, very specific. That's not gonna be for everybody, but I did pick up on that too. Let's get like maybe 3 more from here. I guess I'm gonna probably look into something. That's too many. I might pull from something else, but I'm not sure what yet. If you guys are resonating, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell if you haven't done so already. Greatly appreciate that. What we got? King of Swords. Strategies. Being very strategic. Head over heart decisions. It's giving me that this might be you guys, but let me look a little bit deeper before I say that. We have the Sun on the bottom of the deck, and we have on the top 4 of Wands, middle, Knight of Wands. So I might clarify this card just because, but what I did pick up on is this is going to be the time for you guys to be very, very concrete and intentional about what makes you happy. The Sun card is all about happiness. And then we got that I didn't even intentionally do that, but as I was trying to, look at the card in the middle of the deck again, the deck split again, so I'll show you that too. Knight of Wands, like that's about, going after something with a lot of passion, right? And then when I was just trying to look at that card, we got this card. This is how it split. Two of Cups. So this is about relationships now. We're talking about what makes you happy in relationships, and what is it that you truly want when it comes to that true stability, right? Four of Wands. That's about marriage. So it's like when it comes to your stability and your overall happiness, when it comes to commitment and love and relationships, be very, very concrete about that. Don't be wishy-washy. For instance, if you're trying to manifest that into your life, right? Write a list. You know, the King of Swords is a wordsmith. Okay, like they're really good with words, very intelligent. Some of you might have ear in your chart. Um, Very intelligent and well spoken. Sit down one day and just, say, remember we were talking about the cord cutting too, right? Some of y'all, if you really write down like what it is that you want to, work on getting rid of in your life. And when I say getting rid of, I don't mean like in like a bad way, like death. Like no, that's drastic. But because it sounded a little weird when I said it like that. But things that you're trying to obstacles that you want to remove from your life so that you can be your higher self, better version of yourself, right? Sit down and be very intentional about that. You could write it out and you could burn it, and say these are things I want to get rid of or let go of, and then write down on a separate piece of paper the things that you're willing to bring into your life and accept, right? So I'm getting something about manifestations and being very intentional about what it is that you want to bring into your life too. I did that. I think it was last year during one of like the portals or something. Was it the 8-8 portal? I think it might have been the 8-8 portal. And I did it with my son. And he wasn't home at the time, but we like did it separately, and but we were together when we did it, and it was like on a virtual call or whatever, and it was really cool because he had like all these different things that he wanted to work on, and a lot of that stuff. Yeah, the Lionsgate, that one, Lati, and he the stuff that he wanted to manifest, it's happening right now for him out in LA as a musician. And some of the things that I wanted to work on are also happening. And slow and steady wins the race. I will also say that, like, let things just happen and unfold naturally. But there's nothing wrong with relying on source and whatnot, and your sense of being able to alchemize what it is that you want and transmute that this energy that we're seeing, right? So that you can really be in your highest self. I hope that makes sense. I know that's like a mouthful, but I hope that at least that makes sense and is helpful. All right, let's get like two more from here, and I'm gonna pull from the Akashic Truth Oracle deck, the Hermit energy, really focusing on doing some inner work. Hence why I keep getting, like, I was like, what deck am I gonna pull from? Because I have a few like just like right here that I just kind of put to the side, and I'm like, ooh, okay. I feel drawn to that one, so I'm gonna pull from that one to close it out. But yes, the Hermit, doing a lot of inner work, soul searching, spending some time to yourself. I did say something a little bit earlier about feeling like you might feel a little bit alone sometimes because that sense of isolation that you might feel as you're, excuse me, sorry, as you're kind of maybe pulling your energy away from certain circumstances, certain people, so that you could focus on self. It could feel lonely sometimes, especially Lati said, if you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight, girl. She was singing that earlier. And I had heard it in my head before she like actually started singing. I'm like, this fucking girl and I were so connected. It's so crazy. Like, by the time I was like about to type it in, she had already said it. I'm like, damn it, every time. But yeah, definitely, again, Five of Wands here. We got those conflicts, right? I heard conflict of interest. A lot of conflicts that are kind of taking place during this time, and that's part of the reason why you're in this hermit mode in the first place, because there's too many moving parts. There's too many energies that are not aligned, that feel like they're opposing each other, and that's the energy that we first saw like way early in the reading. And it causes, you know, a sense of discomfort. That's not a position that you want to be in, right? You want to make sure that the circumstances around you, whether it's the people, circumstances, places, so on and so forth, it is in tune with where you're trying to go. If it's not, it has to go. Anything unaligned must go. And that's how you're feeling, because again, you might have been expending yourself in different areas or with different people for too long. Six of Pentacles. And people are not giving you the same energy back. I'm getting like breadcrumbing energy. um just very, very one-sided energies, and it's not a good, you know, position to be in, right? Yeah, well, you're leveling up. There you go. The Emperor. Got the Empress and the Emperor here, by the way. Yeah, so just, you know, sometimes you know what they say, it's lonely at the top. That's where you guys are headed, right? It's lonely at the top. You're gonna have to do a lot of shit alone. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? You've manifested this, and this is what you're gonna have to do to get to where you're going. And you can't, like Lati said it earlier, you can't take everyone with you. But I do feel like that's going to make room for the right energies to be around you, the right people that are on the same level as you, and or who have similar interests and things like that of where you're trying to go, that are going to help guide you along the way. Because sometimes, people are like, oh, be with people who are on the same level. Mm, I remember not recently, but like a while back, there was something I was watching. It might have been like a podcast or something. They were like, there's three people that you should have in your life: the people who remind you of the past that you do not want to repeat, the people who are where you are currently, and the people that inspire you to be where you're trying to go. So you need all those people in your life in some capacity so that you can always keep on leveling up, because you don't want to be stagnant. You don't want to be stuck in the same spot all the time, but you don't want to, sink down to, you want a reminder of where you don't want to go, right? You ain't trying to sink down to the bottom. Not to say that anybody's better than the next person or anything like that, but when you're working on yourself and you've already been there, done that, you're not trying to go backwards, right? Backslide. So, you're leveling up, you're trying to reach a higher echelon, right? So, you're trying to ascend. So just being mindful of the energies that are around you when it comes to that is what I'm getting. One more from here. I never looked at it like that before until I saw that podcast. Like, it was like a clip of a podcast, and I was like, yo, that's fucking crazy, because that's some real shit, you know? Like, have you ever looked at people, like, even in your own family, where you're like, damn, I used to hang out with this motherfucker all the, or friends too. Be like, damn, I used to hang out with that person all the fucking time. We just kept doing the same shit over and over until I got tired of that shit, and then I said, I'm gonna do something different. And then, but you look at them and you're like, damn, I love that person, I really do, and I'm not judging, but damn, they're still doing the same shit, and it's like a headache in a way. Especially when they reach out to you, you're like, it's like a chore almost to talk to them. You know what I mean? Have you ever had those situations? I'm sure we all have. Like I said, there's those people who are like where we're at right now, meeting us at our level, who, you can bounce ideas off of. And if y'all trying to like grow and expand too together, like you're able to bounce off ideas and stuff like that. But even then, not everybody's meant to go with you where you're going. So, yeah. To have people who have been doing it and, can help guide you. That's this Hierophant energy. Somebody who guides and coaches. Just saying. Oh, one more from here. I appreciate you guys for being here and tuning in. I'm really hoping that these messages are making sense and resonate with you. I know there's a lot of different moving parts and energies here, but I feel like I knew this card was gonna come out. But I do feel like this energy is pretty powerful, pretty potent, and I think this was a message definitely worth looking at and viewing, and hopefully it's helping you guys on this part of your journey wherever you're at. We have the Tower here in the reverse. I knew this card was going to come out. So for those of you who have been avoiding change, because we talked about this earlier, um, guess what? Tough titty, as my grandmother used to say. It's gonna happen anyway. Let it. Stop trying to fucking control everything. Control freaks. Some of you might be Aries. Not judging at all. Okay, my son's an Aries. But no, seriously. Um, Trying to control outcomes all the time or just avoiding change and things like that, like that's not going to help you right now. Like, you have to allow these things to happen, because if you don't, guess what's going to happen anyway, and it's going to be even worse when the universe shakes shit up and makes it happen, and you're going to be like, fuck, I should have just did X, Y, and Z. Yep. You ever, like, have moments where you're like, okay, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, and then you don't. I don't know if I really feel like doing that, so you don't do it, and then everything goes to shit, and then you're like, oh fuck, I should have just did X, Y, and Z. Yeah, this is one of those situations. Everything's telling you that you need to do whatever this is. It's gonna be different for everybody. Making these changes, leaving certain people behind, blah 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 blah. Like, you need to. You know that you need to, but you're avoiding it. And the thing is, you're blocking your own fucking blessings, because look what's here. The Ten of Pentacles, just like Lati was talking about in her reading earlier. So it's like, come on now. I'm telling y'all, go check her out. She's amazing. It's time to move on. Smooth sailing from this point forward, if you choose it to be that way. Six of Swords. Transitional period right now. Really leveling up. I'm getting like generational wealth, all kind of stuff, business opportunities, enterprises, like for some people, but just big opportunities coming through. Yep. And wish fulfillment too. Nine of Cups. Sitting on that pedestal, as my girl was talking about earlier. But the thing is, like, you're on that, like, you gotta, like she was saying, loved her analogy earlier. She was saying how, like, you're gonna have to pick up those pieces from that tower moment, or all the tower moments that have been happening, and keep rebuilding upon them. Take the pieces, all that rubble, and build something new with it. New, stronger. And that's what's going to allow you to level up, because all the stuff that we go through, no matter how negative, air quotes, that it might seem, there are things that need to happen in order to work on, I heard the word character development, or words, character development. It's about character development. It's about where you're headed, and these are things that have to happen in order for you to get to where you're trying to go. And then you transmute that energy. So that was the last card I wanted to take from the tarot. Let's just make sure there's no last message. One more card if needed. I appreciate you too, girl. What we got? Yeah, Two of Pentacles. That's like finding balance, right? But it's also like going back and forth. It's like a, should, like, don't be wishy-washy with this shit. Remember I said you gotta be concrete. Make those decisions to move forward. Cut everything off at its fucking source. Anything that no longer serves you, you gotta let that shit go. I know it's easier said than done, trust me, I get it. But like, when you look at the energy here, it's like there's so many positive things coming towards you, whether it's in the form of love, career. For some of you, it might be both. Why keep on dwelling on the past? Why keep on dealing with people and or situations that don't serve you? You gotta do what's best for you. And that means letting go, surrendering control too. Because remember, I was talking about trying to change and or control the narrative too much. Like, that don't help nobody. Trust me, I had to learn that shit the hard way. Because I definitely, I don't have Aries in my chart, but I am a goddamn Sagittarius, and we some controlling motherfuckers too. So it's like, and I'm also a Taurus North Node. So it's like, when I tell you I'm stubborn as a damn mule, sometimes I am. I don't fucking listen. I'm hard-headed. Remember, my dad used to go like this to my forehead when I was a kid. He would knock on it like it was wood. He said, your head is harder than fucking wood. You need to listen. I'm like, and he used to knock hard too. My dad's a guitar, so he got strong ass hands. Okay. But let's see. Grounding. It says, this is on the bottom of the deck. You're being asked to ground yourself. You've been spending too much time in your head, and it's time to pay attention to your body and to the earth. Go outside and plant your feet on the ground. Enjoy the centering feeling that it brings. That's here on the bottom. I need to work on that myself, especially now that the weather is breaking. I want to start spending more time at the park. Here where I live, I have to get like a permit to like have parking in the parks. So I might buy my ticket soon, so that way I can spend a lot of time there this summer. Otherwise, I have to pay every time I go there. Fuck that shit. Just pay one fee and be done with it. Because you could get tickets. One thing about Connecticut, they will fucking eventually start taxing us for our own damn breath that we breathe, or air that we breathe. But anyway, we have shame. You've carried this burden for too long. It's time to release the guilt you've placed on yourself and start a new chapter in your life. Set a new goal and begin taking action towards happiness. Remember, I talked about this is about cutting things off that don't make you feel happy, right? One of those things for some of you could be shame, beating yourself up for, beating yourself up for the things that, you've allowed to happen in your life, rather than giving yourself some sense of grace, right? Let's get maybe 3 more from here. But yes, girl, exactly. Fucking Connecticut. Got more money than the goddamn God, but then they want to tax us for every little thing. Everything. Car taxes, property taxes. I said car taxes already. Fees to go to every fucking thing. It's like, bro, come on. And then when you get that little notice in the mail saying, hey, we saw you do that. It's like, bro, really? Y'all worried about that? Really? These motherfuckers, man. I definitely want to leave Connecticut at some point, eventually. See it through. I feel like they're talking to me right now. You don't always finish what you start, and then talk badly to yourself because of it, hence the shame. Break the karmic pattern by seeing a project through to the end and then be proud of what you have accomplished. Come on now, Spirit ain't playing. Remember I said there's something that some of you guys like might have started it to work on and haven't really fully worked on it. It could have been like people like in your ear, naysayers like talking shit about an idea that you had or something, make you feel bad about yourself, messing with your sense of flow and confidence. This is confirmation for somebody. Let's get maybe 1 or 2 more from here. Thank you. Haha. Yes, strategy and planning. Remember I talked about sitting down and writing things out, planning, because that's what the King of Swords does. He's a planner. Your actions have taken you to a new phase in your spiritual evolution. Now is the time to plan and strategize for the highest possible outcome. Come on, Spirit. 1 more from here. Yes. You. Dependence. There's something or someone you are clinging to and it's keeping you from stepping into your light. You have everything you need to succeed and the only approval you need is your own. Stop worrying about everybody else. I'm also getting for some of you, this seems very specific. Let me know if it resonates. Some of you guys might resonate with this actually being your own family. I'm in particular picking up on a mother vibe. This seems very specific. This is not going to resonate with everybody. But I'm getting the idea that there might be a mother figure that might be one of the figures in your life that have to make you feel kind of like this, a sense of shame, beating you up when you make, plans. And then like, you say, hey, so I think I want to try to do this. And they might be that naysayer that I was talking about earlier. That seems very specific though. And this might be something that stems really far back, including as far back as childhood. Every time you think you want to do something, they knock you down and make you feel like crap. They might be one of those kind of people who, if you've ever heard the term enmeshment, like how can I they everything that you try to do, like they're always in everything that you try to plan. Like you can't ever do anything on your own. Like you still feel like you're up under their titty even though you're a grown ass adult. It's like, bro, like I kind of want to like do my own thing and live my own life, and it's like they won't let you. But you have to be the one to cut and sever that tie. Like I said, that seems very specific for somebody. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely getting like enmeshment issues for somebody when it comes to family, in particular, probably a mom. Um, so keeping some of your ideas to yourself instead of telling them everything while you're strategizing and planning, so you have something solid and you know see it through. I'm getting something like that for somebody. I know I said that was going to be the last card from here, but I feel connected and I feel like I needed to get one more from here. Yeah. I feel like you look just like that person, like this, like if this is your mom or even a father figure. I'm getting mom mostly, but you might look just like this person. But it's definitely giving me like mommy daughter vibes for somebody. Interesting. One more from here. Thank you. Reassess. You're being asked to take stock of your life and let go of anything or anyone that no longer makes you happy. You can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. Notice who and what brings you joy and who and what doesn't. It's time to do a life cleanup. Guys, everything that I said, especially towards the end of this reading, is like basically just coming right out again. You can't make this stuff up even if you wanted to. You really can't. Take a chance. I don't know if any of you guys are like big like Monopoly fans, maybe within your family even. But I just heard take a ride on the Reading Railroad. I don't know why I heard that. But it says take a chance. It's time to step outside of your comfort zone. The world is waiting for you to take a chance. When you do, you'll be rewarded with newfound confidence. I talked about confidence earlier, and enthusiasm, and will begin to attract new results. Yes. Yes. Wow. It's giving me like also like three of sorry, hearing something as I'm trying to tell you guys what I'm like picking up on, and I'm getting another message. Sorry. Um, this is giving me like Three of Wands vibes, waiting for your ships to kind of come in. And then like I'm also just kind of getting like I heard the wait is over. That's what I heard. I'm like the wait is over. Like they're basically just saying like the as you're seeing things for what it really is, and you're, you know, like it says reassessing, right? Learning like these realities here and seeing things for what it really is, taking the rose colored lenses off. You know, now you're like, okay, this is a time for me to really just step into my truest self. Let it go. You're being asked to let go of whatever pain and resentment you've been holding on to. Exactly. It's hurting you, and and you can't fully be present in your life if you're holding on to the negativity. Release it and be free. Freedom, I won't let you down. You might be George Michael fans. Will not give you up. Middle of the deck. See, look, don't block your own blessings. Okay, no, don't block your own blessings by holding on to the shit that doesn't work for you. Abundance in the middle of the deck. Let me just show you the card. um, you're being asked to open to abundance, to believe that you're deserving of it, and to believe that it will flow to you. This is the first important step towards receiving it. Breathe deeply and trust that it is on the way. Yes. Take that deep breath and just say, I'm just gonna release. I'm gonna let go and let God, whatever you believe in. And connecting to source is really important right now too. I feel like for some of you guys, or really for all of us, not just some. I would say us, because I resonate with that. Being able to know and understand the importance of you know, knowing that you can't always do everything by yourself, being able to rely on something outside of self, God, source, confirmation, as my phone's going off at the same exact time as I say that. Um, the percentage on my phone right now is 41, adds up to 5. And I've been seeing the number 5 a lot lately, which is about major changes. I'm getting almost like changing your relationship with source and God, whatever you believe in. Being able to understand the importance of reconnecting, if you will. So that way you can, understand that again, you can't do everything by yourself. And being able to know that sometimes you have to, look to something higher than yourself. The Hierophant. So that you can, become your highest version of self, right? I hope that makes sense. But with all that said, I hope that this message resonated with at least one of you guys. If I resonated with even one person, then I know I did my job for the day. At least on here, I know I did my job today with those doggone kids. My lord, they were something. They were a hot mess, but they're my babies. In terms of kids, I'm talking about my students. For those of you who know, you know. If you don't know, then yeah, I'm an assistant teacher and I work with kids with autism, and they're absolutely amazing and fabulous. I love my students. Um, they've been on me though lately. My God, so clingy. Even in other classes, I'm like, dang, Michelle, like they were fighting over me on the playground today. I was like, what the heck? But anyway, they're funny. They are a riot. But anywho, I love you guys and thank you so much for being here. I hope that it resonated and I hope that you found this helpful. I'm gonna try to, start building up, my momentum again of being on here more frequently. Right now I'm shooting for like once, twice a week, and then I'm gonna try to get, on here more than that. It's just I got a lot going on. Life be life in, and I have 2 jobs and a small business, so it's hard to really be on here the way I want to, but I'm gonna work on it. um, but yes, with all that said, oh, also, if you guys are interested in private and or personal readings, hit your girl up. All my information is in the description box, all that stuff. So yes, I love y'all. Have a great evening. I probably won't be back on until next week, but until next time, love y'all.